Howdy gamers, how's it going? Homeless man with audio equipment back again. I promise that I'm not actually this greasy. I did just shower, believe it or not. I do that. I occasionally will betray the gaming ways, but I kind of wanted to go ahead and talk about something I used to do in the past, and that used to mean a hell of a lot to me. And that was voice acting. I think it's 7th grade, all the way up until I was about a junior in high school, there were very few things in life I cared more about YouTube and voice acting. YouTube almost went nowhere for that entirety of that happening. I think it's really difficult being a kid and trying to make YouTube videos, because as soon as someone hears your little kid voice, they're gonna have a fucking aneurysm. However, when you're a kid, voice acting is actually a very realistic way you can try to have success in the entertainment industry. And I kind of want to talk about how psychotically unlucky I got. Now, I think definitely if I was good enough that it wouldn't have been an issue at all, and I would have actually gone somewhere with it. When I was, I believe, in high school, everyone kind of already thought I was a bit of a psycho, so it wasn't weird if I started doing random voices. And in my gym class, I didn't even talk like a normal human. I refused to do anything other than my Christopher Walken impression. And I started getting really into impressions. And while I wouldn't really understand impressions, because a lot of times that would involve having a traditional understanding of the media, so I never watched the stand-up that much, but I really liked doing almost like preparing stand-up like impression bits in my head. So then I started to actually try pretty intensely. I was working at the time, and I was mowing lawns mainly, so I saved up so I can get a Blue Yeti microphone, which is essentially the I want to stream mom, please let me stream version of that old Logitech blue headset. And so I kind of wanted to go over how that went. And when I first started doing it, I kind of didn't know what to do, and I figured out a website called Behind the Voice Actors. Before I get into what happens specifically, I don't know if there's a general issue with this website, but I'm kind of going to go into what goes well, along with sharing some shit that honestly is pain-inducing for me to listen to. Alrighty, so here's my profile. As you'll see, yellow means you were casted and white doesn't. I was trying to apply to 3 different fucking voice acting things a day, and I was doing that for about a month, and so I think I did somewhere around 75 or so voice acting things. Very few of them actually still lived on this website. Also, I apologize about my dogs playing in the background. I want to live stream today, so I'm gonna record this, even if I don't have good audio around me or not, so you can go fuck yourself, I guess. I'm sorry. But so about 75 auditions later, I got casted for, I think, around 30. The issue is that 99% of those projects got deleted, so I have very few of these actually remaining. However, my audition to cast rate on this website was astonishingly good. I think I was actually pretty okay at voice acting. It's something I cared a lot about, and you'll see kind of the different stuff I was doing. I had a fairly deep voice. Actually, you heard my voice in the Via Everything Kickstarter, which is almost the exact same time this shit happened. So I almost sounded the exact same, yet I had a tendency to do better with higher pitched roles, which is kind of odd. I think a lot of times what you end up doing well in voice acting doesn't always actually represent where you are in real life. You have a deep voice or a high-pitched voice in real life, I don't think that actually dictates whatsoever the kind of roles you'll do better at. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some of these.
I have some questions for you, Tom. Your friend said he saw the man in this picture last night. Does he look familiar? Did you see any kids last night you didn't recognize?
Patience is a virtue, CL. A virtue I see you still have not learned. Unfortunately, we didn't get that far on account of this happening. Otherwise, we would have tracked and killed a demon the following week. Your sword, your father's sword, was forged in heaven and handed down by the Archangel himself. This means that the weapon is connected to you on a spiritual level, and lacking a better explanation, it is a part of your bloodline, and therefore an extension of yourself.
This is the part where you lose. I couldn't help but overhear you two from my dorm room. So, you snuck into Beacon, huh? I gotta say, John, I never expected you to be such a rebel. Dear Diary, I've had a crush on Cardin for a really long time, but the problem is, he doesn't understand. My only way of expressing my love is through the ways I treat him. Come on, Jamie, we could be like how we used to if you just had a few drinks with me. Prison, all over again. Those were the good old days. Sorry, man, I was just playing. No reason to get hostile. Aw, but Jamie, you know you like being tickled. Coochie coochie coo. Ah, coochie coochie coo.
I think he's a pretentious pugnacious pie-eating pig with a poor palate. Hi, video dude. What you reviewing today? Game Grumps? Let me help. Stop treating me like a little kid. I know what I'm talking about.
Not again. See, American. See why you should have run while you had the chance. I am an agent of death. It's your funeral, Blackwater scum.
I'm glad you like the sausage.
I don't always make jokes or appear on the show, but when I do, it's in the opening song.
Alright, holy shit, that was fucking painful. It was so insanely good, and it's such a level of okay, regardless, it pains me to listen to me say some of that shit. I should say, too, that you'll see this edgy fucking anime avatar. I watched a little bit of anime, like, I've seen, like, Attack on Titan, and, like, One Punch Man. I think Attack on Titan was around this time, but I'm not an anime guy. I don't know how to say it. I just don't fucking watch anime much. It's just not my thing. I'm sorry, but... And all of this almost was always anime parody kind of stuff, or, like, anime fan stuff, and I think... almost none of them ever made it. They almost always would last like a day or two in actual casting. People would fall off. The creators would actually be like, I don't want to do it anymore. That was actually happened most of the time. So a lot of times the person who made it was like, I'd rather fucking not. And it just randomly. So out of all of these I made, the amount of ones that actually made it to final production was fucking 0. So at the time, my goal with this was that I would develop a reel. I would develop a demo reel, so that way I could hopefully try to get a hold of some sort of casting thing, and then they could hopefully go beyond there, because that's kind of, at the amateur level, you need to really find just absolute free bullshit stuff that's hard to do, and then do your best at it so you can develop a demo reel so you can find further semi-professional work. And then you almost, through that semi-professional work, have to do that same process again. And that's most of the time the process of how to do voice acting shit. However, I would say it was okay. Like, I was okay at voice acting. I usually like to shit on how bad my old stuff used to be and understand why it was bad. And I understand that this absolutely could have gone better and I could have done things better, but it's almost insane how bad my luck was. I spent like a year of my life working on this shit, and a lot of it is shit. I'm not trying to like grow my ego too much, but this is something that at the time I was really confident about, and it showed that it was successful. At the time, it's hard to just look at this and see it was successful, but at the same time, seeing 6 out of the 8 things remaining I got casted for kind of says a lot, because if you go into these, for the most part, a lot of these, and I don't actually know how to check, but a lot of these would have, a lot of times, a couple of dozen people applying for the same role. I'm actually not sure how to see that. I don't think they still show you everyone who applied for it, but it was pretty understandable. That I think my confidence was almost justified a bit. A lot of times I'm just confident to be an asshole, but this was something I felt like I was kind of decent at. And then it was insane how bad my luck actually was. I should say this too, that if any of you guys want any voice acting stuff, feel free to talk to me about it. I will absolutely do whatever you want for free. I'm not saying like for payment or anything, just you guys want me to do anything, I would totally be fucking cool with being on any of your guys' projects or whatever, even if it's some goofy animation shit. As long as you can promise to me that it'll actually make it somewhere, like it'll go somewhere, I would be more than happy to try to do that. And by go somewhere, I just mean that you intend to finish it. I don't give a shit if 0 people watch it, as long as you're having fun making it. It sucked so much that I did all of this so often, and then none of them I was ever actually able to see the final product of my work into it. However, I think that's going to mostly conclude it off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.